attention, please. We will now begin in 3 minutes. Please find your seats. Once again, the award ceremony for the Wangari Maathai will soon begin in 3 minutes. Please find your seats. Thank you.
Excuse me, please be seated. We are going to start in 2 minutes. Good afternoon. I'm very delighted to welcome you, delegates, colleagues, speakers to the Wangari Maathai Forest Champions Award ceremony organized by the Collaborative Partnership on Forest and Korea Forest Service. I am Eun-sik Park, the Secretary General of the 15th World Forestry Congress Secretariat and Director General of the International Affairs Bureau of the Korea Forest Service, and I will moderate today's award ceremony. This ceremony will be held in English with interpretation available in French, Spanish, and Korean. Ladies and gentlemen, few individuals have had such a profound positive impact on our forest and the people who depend on them as the late Wangari Maathai. Today, on the occasion of this Congress, we have come together to announce the 2022 Wangari Maathai Forest Champion, an outstanding individual who has been making an extraordinary contribution to improving our forest and the lives of people who depend on them. I'm happy to welcome all of our distinguished guests to the stage. Ms. Maria Helena, Deputy Director General of the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and the Chairperson of the Collaborative Partnership on Forest. Our esteemed jury member, Ms. Maria Patek, Deputy Minister for Forestry and Sustainability of Austria. Also, I'd like to invite Mr. Nam Tae-hyun, the Deputy Minister of the Korea Forest Service. You might already know that the Collaborative Partnership on Forest consists of 15 international organizations with major forest programs which individually and jointly are spearheading efforts to halt deforestation, restore forest, and promote sustainable use. Ms. Maria Helena Semedo, I'd like to invite you to deliver your opening remarks on behalf of FAO and the CPF.
Thank you and good afternoon to all. Excellencies, dear participants, distinguished delegates, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by expressing my special gratitude to the Republic of Korea for hosting the Wangari Maathai Forest Champions Award here at the 15th World Forestry Congress. This award was established in 2012 by the Collaborative Partnership on Forests to honor the legacy of a Kenyan environmentalist, Wangari Maathai, the first African woman to win a Nobel Prize for her contribution to sustainable development, democracy, and peace. Sadly, she passed away in 2011. The Collaborative Partnership on Forests recognizes individuals who champions of forests and trees. Past awards have been given to a variety of incredible personalities, some of whom you hear after this session. All recipients of the Wangari Maathai Award have truly stood out as global champions and ambassadors who have taken extraordinary steps to improve and sustain forests and their surrounding communities. We admire their pioneering involvement of indigenous communities in the fight for local forests, their promotion of community forest management and youth education programs, their tireless efforts to turn political tides to benefit forests and the communities that depend on them, and making forest conservation appealing and profitable. We should never underestimate the power of a strong, vocal, and active spokesperson to inspire current and future generations, to spark innovation and actions, and to improve our world. The impacts of the climate crisis, of biodiversity loss and deforestation are being felt more and more in our everyday lives. Every activist that mobilizes people to take action, whether large or small, is crucial to face today's challenge. Although we have a tribute film to Wangari Maathai, I would like to take this opportunity to say a few words, these impactful and inspiring women. Wangari Maathai was a visionary and a pioneer who saw a deep connection between poverty and deforestation. She began working with women's groups to empower them to fight for their rights, and in doing so, also began the Green Belt movement that has planted over 51 million trees in Kenya. She embraced inclusivity, fighting both poverty and environmental degradation, while empowering communities. She fought for a green environment, women's rights, and for democracy. Today, we learn about a woman who followed her heart and chose a path that inspires us still today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Semedo, for this inspiring word. Let us now dive deeper into the spirit of the Wangari Maathai with a short screening of the tribute film.
Wangari Maathai blazed a trail for women's rights, for democracy, and for forests. In 1977, she founded the Green Belt movement to combat deforestation and empower communities, particularly women, to improve their livelihoods. The movement has planted over 51 million trees in Kenya. Maathai was the first African woman to win a Nobel Peace Prize.
It is the people who must save the environment. It's the people who must make their leaders change. So we must stand up for what we believe in.
Since 2012, the Collaborative Partnership on Forest has honored and commemorated her work with its Wangari Maathai Forest Champions Award. This honor is granted to individuals across the world who have made extraordinary efforts to improve the world's forests and the lives of the people who depend on them, following in the footsteps of Wangari Maathai.
Wangari Maathai has truly set an example for us all to aspire towards. I now hand the floor over to our jury member, Ms. Maria Patek, to introduce the selection process for this year's winner.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today and for the honor to have served as a jury member for this esteemed award. I'm speaking today on behalf of the 5 jury members: Leseke Morongoa from South Africa, Abderrahim Houmi from Morocco, Fabiola Mata Munoz Tudero from Peru, Cheo Chang-yong from Republic of Korea, and myself representing Austria. As hinted at by Ms. Semedo, the pool of 59 candidates has indeed presented incredibly inspiring candidates this year. Therefore, the selection was not easy. The nominators of these candidates were required to provide a detailed supporting evidence of their innovative efforts for conservation, their reflection on Wangari Maathai's spirit, and their awareness-raising actions in their local communities and their empowerment of others to take action through a strengthened social commitment in recognition of the essential value of forests. With this in mind, we were able to select a short list of 12 candidates that best represented this criteria. 3 of them made it to the final round. It was not an easy decision, but as a jury, we were able to unanimously agree on the most inspiring candidate to receive this award. Based on all we have learned on this year's winner, we truly believe she is the best choice for making the greatest potential impact on the future of forests and therefore our future. And what better day than to celebrate her achievements today on the Children's Day, who are truly our future. But before the awardee is revealed, I would like to additionally mention 2 honorable candidates that impressed us as a jury deeply with their actions and most definitely made our decisions more difficult. The first honorable mention is Mr. Constantino Arcajutas, President of Asociación Ecosistemas Andinos, ECOAN, who co-founded a visionary Peruvian conservation nonprofit in 2000. From the inception of ECOAN, ORCA has connected the well-being of indigenous communities to implementing ecosystem conservation. As an outstanding achievement, he started Acción Andina, which is a unique lighthouse program for the UN decade that could serve as a model to engage grassroots communities to restore ecosystems at large scale. And the second honorable mention goes to Thais Koral. Together with Wangari and other outstanding women, she co-founded We Do, the Women, Environment and Development Organization, which formulated the Women's Action Agenda 21 for a Healthy Planet, supported by 1,500 women from very diverse networks from 83 different countries. Thais also started 2 organizations, a network for human development and an organization towards communication, education, information and adaptation. Both organizations played a major role in identifying partnerships with other sustainable development stakeholders for women's rights advancement, local communities empowerment, and ecosystems protections. Congratulations to both of them, and thank you for your incredible efforts. I would like to give you a big applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Maria Patek, and now the wait is over. As I give the floor to the Deputy Minister, Mr. Nam Tae-hyun of the Korea Forest Service to present this year's winner of the Wangari Maathai Forest Champions Award.
Good afternoon. I would like to begin by telling you a bit about the winner of the Collaborative Partnership on Forests 2022 Wangari Maathai Forest Champions Award. The winner actively contribution to the conservation, restoration, and sustainable management of all types of forests, and at various levels, starting from the grassroots level through sub-regions of Cameroon and other countries within her network operates. She has built the concept to guide local forestry conservation work through a structured approach and within an institutional framework that allows for capacity building, financial mobilization, and central government support. In 2009, she established the African Women's Network for Community Management of Forest for the promotion of women's rights on land and forest, and has expanded the movement to include 20 member countries. She established Cameroonian Ecology in 2001 and dedicated to the restoration of degraded land. Through this group, she elaborated the first community forestry training manual for the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife and contributed to the development of training programs for community forestry. This is a woman who fights for effective ecological governance and the recognition of women's rights. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce that the 2022 winner of the Collaborative Partnership on Forest Champions Award goes to Ms. Cecile Jebet of Cameroon. Congratulations, Cecile. May I invite you to the stage? Ms. Semedo, please join me in handing over the award.
Congratulations, Miss Cecil Jebet. Please give her another big round of applause. I'd like to invite this year's winner, Miss Cecil Jebet, for her acceptance speech. Please.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, but I'm feeling it very heavily. Thank you so much. Food and Agricultural Organization Deputy Director General and Chairperson of the Collaborative Partnership on Forest, Madam Maria Helena Samedo. Thank you. His Excellency, Mr. Tayu Nam, the Deputy Minister of the Korean Forest Service. Her Excellency, Madam Maria Patek, Deputy Minister for Forestry, Sustainability in Austria. Honorable members of the Collaborative Partnership on Forest, dear Forest Champion, dear members of the African Women Network for Community Management of Forest, dear colleague, friend, and dear rural women. Allow me to start by expressing my deep gratitude for the recognition based on me by the honorable members of the CPF in selecting me as the 2020 Forest Champion from among a great number of nominations received this year. They were talking about 59. Yes. I feel very humble by this, and at the same time, I feel very happy for this honor. I would like to thank Professor Godwin Kowero, the Executive Secretary of the African Forest Forum, commonly known as AFF, for submitting my nomination so that to that very competitive and complex process. In this regard, I wish to also sincerely thank 3 people who supported me with references for the nomination. They are Dr. Janet Gurung, the Executive Director for Women Organizing for Change in Agriculture and Natural Resources Management, WOCAN. Mrs. Clotilde Ngomba, the National Director of WWF in Cameroon, and a recipient of this award in 2015, Mrs. Gertrude Kenyangi, she's in the room, who is the Executive Director for Support for Women in Agriculture and Environment in Uganda. I would like to thank my colleague of the African Women's Network for Community Management of Forests, commonly known in our region as REFACOF, and all the rural women who have made this journey with me. When in 2009 I founded with other fellow African women, the African Women's Network for Community Management of Forests, as an advocacy platform that will focus on African women tenure rights in land and forest reforms, as a means to green sub-Sahara Africa with women at the center of the restoration of the diverse ecosystem that makes up this region of Africa, nobody believed we could sustain that effort for such a long time, let alone being recognized for this contribution. Together with my colleagues at REFACOF and the great rural African women, we say thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you for this award. Today is a very special day in my life and in the lives of the women in REFACOF. Allow me to share briefly my brief and very memorable contact with Professor Wangari Maathai. I met the late Professor Wangari Maathai in 2009. Thank you. When she visited our small organization known as Cameroon Ecology, that was one of the first 6 grantees of the first Congo Basin Forest Fund, CBFF. She later raised awareness on our activities in the UN Climate Change Conference in Copenhagen, accompanied with the authorities of the city of Edea and all the sectoral administrations. After this conference, she visited Bopo, one of the community forests in Cameroon, as well as the beneficiaries of the funding. As we spent the day together, she explained to me her love for nature, for forest, the importance of preserving the environment, the danger of climate change for humanity, the human responsibility for the destruction of the environment, the importance of forests for the environment, the contribution of women, and many more things. As we separated, she told me, I will cite her exactly. This is the mission I leave to you. Mobilize all African women, sensitize them in planting trees, tell them to plant fruit trees. They will bring them many benefits. They will improve the nutrition of their children and their families. They will generate income through the sale of surplus fruit, and the trees will mitigate the negative impact of climate change. The entire world will benefit from their actions. So get the woman to plant the trees. If you need money, I will give you the money. That's what she told me. These words have remained engraved in my memory, and her visit was the trigger for my commitment to reforestation, conservation, the fight against illegal coal logging, the fight for women's rights on land and forest. So when I talk about this short moment with this African and world icon, you can't imagine how much she has marked my life. You cannot understand how much I regret her premature passing. You can't understand how I feel at this moment. This prize this prize for me is all this. The recognition of the strategic actors of the forestry sector gathered within the CPF, the motivation to continue this work in memory of Wangari Maathai, the encouragement to continue this difficult work with rural women. Finally, have the support that Wangari Maathai had promised me has become a reality through this award. It is very unfortunate that she was never be able to witness this moment as she passed away so early. Our goal at Refacov is to plant 20 million trees for the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. In other words, some brave African women are committed to planting so many trees on the continent as their contribution to restore degraded ecosystems. Of course, we all know that they do not have enough resources to carry out this. However, I believe that this award will send their plate to those who can support them in this noble cause. I once again thank you for this precious award and also for listening to me. Thank you very much. Thank you indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us give another round of applause to the new Wangari Maathai Forest champion, Miss Cecile. I would also like to remind everyone here that now we will have a special panel of Wangari Maathai Award winners. I would like to invite to the stage the new moderator, Ms. Esther Penunia. And also, congratulations again, Ms. Cecile. And also thank you, Madam Helena, Madam Patek, and Mr. Nam. Thank you all for attending.